I know you're like, Francois, you have 20 something odd thousand, 20 odd something, however it said, thousand subscribers on your main YouTube channel. Why is it that you decided to start a podcast? And I said earlier in another video that I started a podcast because I don't want to chase views anymore. Like, it's very stressful. I'm the kind of person who doesn't like stress. And the more I say this, the more I'm coming to terms with, yeah, this is the actual truth. I don't like stress. I don't like stress, positive stress. I don't like negative stress. And maybe some of you will say, oh, some positive stress is okay. No, I don't like any stress. I think it's the reason why I'm able to like keep a bit of my youth as I grow older, because I try to do my best to limit as much stress from my life as possible, from relationships with people, from internal conflict with myself, and even with dealing in everyday situations. I want to limit stress as much as possible. Let me see if I can fix this camera really quickly. There we go. So, on my main YouTube channel, as you know, I moved to Kazakhstan. I moved to Kazakhstan about 3 months ago, and I came here for a job. And I'm really loving my job actually. But this job is only for a maximum of 2 years. So that's a big decision coming up. Do I go back to Korea? If I go back to Korea, I lose my visa. Or I don't lose my visa. If I stay here in Kazakhstan for a second year, I will lose my Korea visa and I'll have to start that all over again in the US. So anyways, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But I moved to Kazakhstan, and I was thinking that when I came to Kazakhstan, because my area, the city where I live, is so like obscure. It's not in the middle of nowhere, but no one has really heard about this city. Even Kazakhs don't come up here to this area. So I had a friend who was asking me like, Koshektal, where's Koshektal? And I explained, and they're like, wow, okay, you're all the way up there? Like, what are you doing? Why are you not in Almaty or Astana? But the job sent me here. So I thought if I came to Kazakhstan, my videos would perform as well as they did when I came to Kazakhstan last summer when I was introduced to this country. I was introduced to Kazakhstan last summer when I came here on vacation with a friend and his friends from China. And I absolutely love the country. I love the food. I love the people. I love the wilderness. It's not, in my opinion, it's not better than Mongolia. I mean, I don't want to say it's better or not. It's different than Mongolia, but Mongolia always had a special place in my heart. But I decided that, okay, I want to try Central Asia. Not many people know about Central Asia, especially in African American, or especially African Americans. They don't know much about Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan or Tajikistan or Kyrgyzstan, these places. So I was like, I'm going to come here and try it out. And I decided to come here and try it out. So now that I'm here and I was making YouTube videos, I saw like a really drastic dip in the viewership of my videos. Even when I go from Korea to Mongolia, the viewership doesn't drop off that much. And actually, in a lot of my videos in Mongolia, the views go up. So I don't have to deal with like a drop off in views from Mongolia. But when I came here to Kazakhstan, my first video, I think it did like, I think after some weeks, it's like 800 and something views. And then my second video was like 400 and something views. And the next was like 800. And it was causing me to stay up at night, like worried about views. Why are my views not coming here in Kazakhstan? And then it started to get in my head that, no one really likes my YouTube channel. So I think my YouTube channel is dead. And maybe it's the case, maybe it's not. I talked to a friend and he was like, no, it's not really dead. It's just you switch locations. So the algorithm doesn't really know where to place you. And that's the whole thing. I started YouTube because I wanted to just show my creative side. Like I started with photography and I started with photo walks around Seoul and then later around Korea. And then I switched it up every now and then, but it stayed like photography, right? And I was just enjoying sharing my experiences with people around the world. And I was like, this is pretty cool. I wasn't really thinking about monetization, even though I heard that I could get my videos monetized. I wasn't like, oh, I'm making these videos because I want money. I just wanted people to watch, right? And it wasn't until I started to get a little bit bigger that my friends in the United States and some in the Netherlands were saying how you can really monetize your content and all of this stuff. And then it got into my head that I could make money. I can make money from YouTube. So even though I had fun filming the videos, I had fun editing the videos and like putting all the content together to make it cohesive, it started to not be fun. The whole process of looking at the analytics, looking at the metadata, looking at the views, trying to come up with new thumbnails that can convey the message so people would click on my videos. And then I got into like a dead spiral where I was looking at other content that, or where the thumbnails weren't nearly as produced as mine. And even the content, people would lie in the content. It's like people would say they're going here at the beginning of the video, but then they don't go there. And as a travel YouTuber or a person who was traveling at the time a lot and putting it on YouTube, it kind of got to me. It's like I actually explain where I'm going. I take you on the journey with me to where I'm going. But these people will have hundreds of thousands of views and I'm barely getting 500 views, So it began to weigh on me a lot. It began to be very, very stressful. And when I released my last video here in Kazakhstan, I think it was maybe 18 hours later, I had 125 views. And that hurt. That hurt my ego. It hurt my willingness to continue making YouTube videos because I put a lot of work into trying to figure out where I can go and how I'm going to put all of this information together to make a nice, crisp video so everyone can watch in an enjoyable fashion. And I also felt betrayed. I felt betrayed because all of the subscribers that I have on my channel, like you would think, there's 22 something thousand subscribers and I can only get 125 people to watch. It's crazy. It made me feel like people don't really care about me. They only care about where I am in the world and what I can show them, which, to be honest, I can understand. A lot of people, I think humans in general, they try to get things from other humans. That's how we survive, right? So, I can kind of understand, but at the same time, it hurt a lot. And then I spoke to one of my friends and he was like, yeah, it's just because you changed locations and the algorithm doesn't know where to place you. And I'm like, well, last summer I left Korea and I went immediately to Kazakhstan, and the algorithm didn't treat my content like that. And it was like, yeah, because you were fresh and people never heard about you, and it was like shock value. And also you went to like these big cities where, the search algorithm is going to like push those up, is going to support it, is going to push those out. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see. And I started thinking. I started talking to another friend who's in California. He's like a coach. I think he used to be a therapist as well. And he was just giving me like all kinds of information, and he was saying it in a very down-to-earth fashion. And he was saying how, yeah, I understand, like even the YouTube channel that I do, it doesn't get any traction, and I'm just trying to figure out all the time how I can make the videos, more attractive for people. And it's been like months since he's made a video because he really wants to get everything right. So I was like, okay, enough of this. I'm really tired of trying to satisfy this all-powerful algorithm. And maybe the algorithm is not working against me. Maybe it's actually working for me. It just doesn't understand my videos. It doesn't understand the thumbnails or whatever. And that's the thing. Also, I'm tired of it. I'm super tired of having to think about all of this stuff when there are other things that I can be focusing my time on, like getting my online school, English Expat Academy going up, getting it started. I can focus more on my photography. I can focus more on making new friends. I can focus on finding a girlfriend, finding a wife to marry. I can focus on so many other things in my life that can give me potential or can help me explore my potential, that I don't need to worry so much about, views. It was really causing me a headache. So I decided to start this channel, and I started this channel because I don't want to worry about editing. I don't care about thumbnails. I don't care about, putting B-roll. I don't care about leaving the apartment and going outside. I'm just gonna make all of my videos right here in the comfort of my own home and just say whatever I want to say within certain parameters, of course. And I think the beauty of this is that I'm probably going to talk a lot about my 18 years of living abroad. which is a good thing for all of you who are listening or watching, because if you're planning on moving outside of the United States, I'm sure I have a lot of experiences that you can benefit from. So I think having a podcast where I'm just sitting and I'm delivering to you all of the information that I've experienced over that time can really be helpful to you. I know, especially in the United States, a lot of people, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos where people are fed up. Americans are fed up with living in America. And I don't know which side of the aisle people stand on. I'm not overly political myself. I just want, the leaders to do right by the people, by all people who come into the country. So, if you're right, if you're left, if you're in the middle, if you're wherever, I'm hoping that you can use this information to not help you leave the United States immediately, but to do more research on how you can get outside of the United States and move abroad. Because there's a reason why I've been outside of America for 18 years. There's a reason. And there's a reason why I don't plan on ever moving back to America to live if I can help it. Maybe some situations will come up where I will need to go back to America. I don't foresee any reasons why I would need to do that unless I got too old and I aged out of all of my teaching jobs or any of the other jobs that I do abroad. But other than that, I don't really see why I would go back. And there are a lot of people who are thinking like me. They want to travel abroad and they watch my videos and they talk to me and they say, "Oh, Francois, you went here, you went there. How do you do that? How do you save money for it? How do you go to a new country and then come back and you're able to pay all your bills and you're still able to live and things?" And I've developed a method, and maybe this method isn't as extensive as I think it is, but I have developed a method, a system for how to live outside of the United States and not make so much money, but still enjoy yourself, still have time to travel, still have time to save money and to build for the future. I'm still saving money as well, and I'm going to also share some mistakes I've made with money. I made a couple of mistakes with money, but I made one really big mistake with money, one extremely big mistake with money. And that money will probably never ever come back, even though I have the ability to make that money back. It's probably not going to come back, but I'll be sharing all of this with you. I'll share with you the good, the bad, the ugly, all of the things that keep me living outside of the United States. And then you can see for yourself if any of those experiences that I share with you grabs your attention and makes you want to move out by first traveling and research the country where you want to move, or if you're scared of these situations, or maybe it's not for you and you want to find how to make your life in the United States more stable. I'm hopeful that you will find something here on this channel. The main thing is that I'm just going to be here talking comfortably and not worried about the algorithm. So thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.